MLB Bro presents Black in the Day.
We're going to take it black in the day right now with Marvin Freeman, a 10-year Major League Baseball veteran who not only pitched in the World Series, he pitched in the SWAC at Jackson State. And he's also a Jackson State Hall of Famer. Big Marv, great to see you again. In the interest of full disclosure, we go back because I was fortunate enough to cover you guys in the heyday where the Braves made their reputation as America's team. What was it like to be a part of that experience?
Oh, man, it was a fun team. It was a really fun team. A lot of guys from that team. I mean, no matter who they were, everybody got along. But, it was just so much fun being on the team with guys like Deion Sanders, Dave Justice, Ronnie Gant, Terry Pendleton, Otis Nixon, Keith Mitchell, Brian Hunter. We had brothers on that team, right? So you didn't feel like you couldn't be yourself. You didn't feel like you could be out of place or get out of pocket if you said something that was you around people that didn't really understand you. So it was just so much, it was just so relaxing being there.
And it was definitely a diverse locker room, to say the least. But to your point, you mentioned everybody that I was going to get to, and you forgot to mention Deion Sanders, who's not a football coach, who was one of you at Jackson State now. He was one of your teammates with the Braves. But you talked about all those players, the Justices, the Gants, the Otis Nixons, the Terry Pendletons, all those guys. And now there are 86 total players who are Black from America that are playing the game. What happened to Black baseball in America?
Well, first of all, it's so expensive to play it now. If you're going to play at a high level, you're going to have to be on one of those really good exposure teams. And those teams cost money. Most of the time, you don't get a chance to get that scholarship unless you're already been proven. That's right around your junior, senior year. But from 12, 13, 14, and 15, you're paying $3,000 to play summer ball, and that's without, any of the amenities like hotel expenses if your parents want to come on the road. So it's it's a little pricey. I think that, not seeing a lot of us on TV has taken the African-American kid and given him a sense of, man, how hard is it going to be for me if I don't see myself on TV? When I grew up, I could see guys on TV like Ferguson Jenkins, Lee Smith, dudes I wanted to emulate and went out and actually tried to, imitate when I was playing sandlot ball. But right now, you just don't see a lot of us. We don't get enough. We can't just, roll up to a park and start a sandlot game because now you got to have a permit to do all these things. And inner city baseball is kind of, almost falling by the wayside. There's a lot of organizations that's trying to, pump a little bit of life in it. But, it's just we don't have the opportunities now. Now, when you go over to Dominican Republic, they got academies. These kids live there from 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. And by the time they're 16, they're ready for the big show. I mean, you see a lot of these kids that, they look like us. And all the guys that I work with, I always ask, who's your favorite player? And it's not really a Marvin Freeman or a Joe Jackson or something like that. It's always, a guy that they see, Acuna, Tatis, these guys are, they got flair. They do everything that we used to do, but they speak Spanish now. And so, when you're given an opportunity to kind of be brought up in an academy and you can play all the time because you got to play all the time to be a really good baseball player. And a lot of times over here, we don't play as much as we need to. We kind of really think that it's going to be it's just going to happen, but it's a hard game. We don't play enough. We're not hungry enough because we got sports like football and basketball that's going to, get you there immediately if you're really athletic and good. But you got to love baseball, and you can't fall in love with it until you get to know it. And a lot of our kids, the ones that are still playing now and giving themselves an opportunity. They love the game. And so you have to love the game. And I don't think the game is getting that much love from the Black community as it used to. But hopefully it'll swing back around, man, because I'm trying to do my part, helping a lot of these young kids, try and make it to the next step, be it high school or college or whatever. And if they're good enough, then they'll get a chance. But, right now, man, hey, it's an uphill fight. We fighting it.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things because there's layers to the onions in that answer. First off, when you start talking about the baseball academies these days in the Dominican Republic, those would be like the IMGs for football and basketball here. When you look at the RBI program, do you see it having an impact right now on Black American baseball players? Because it should be noted that I think the University of Michigan, who made the College World Series last year, at least had 8 players on there. I can't remember seeing that in about 20 years.
Well, most of those guys, they played for us in Chicago. I was with the White Sox Ace program and Christian Bullock and Lefty, was on the team with Michigan. They played in the College World Series. And then, we have guys, like I was saying, it's little programs like that give guys an opportunity to continue to play, backed by Rob Fletcher and, Kenny Fullman out of Chicago. They were running that ACE program. And, it's really something that needs to be stationed in every big league city, the way that they do it in Chicago. A lot of teams, cities have tried to model after that, but, just being able to have the facilities, have pay for all those tournaments and games, it's a lot that goes into it. But, we don't have the kind of, resources that's going to allow guys to continue to play as much as they need to and still be able to afford it, because that off-season training, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for the in-season play. You got to pay for the travel. You look up, you're going to spend $10,000, playing summer ball. And if I had went to my mother when I was like 14 and said, "Mom, I'm going to need 10 G," she'd have been like, "Boy, you better get out there on that basketball court and do something else."
It might not have been the journey to that Major League Baseball.
The journey would have been done.
10 years had that been the case. Marvin Freeman is our guest as we go Black to the future here in Major League Baseball. And then you talked about the love. And love is a two-way street. It's a many splendid thing, all that kind of stuff. So let me frame the question in the narrative of love since you brought it up. Who turned their back on who? Did Black America turn its back on baseball, or did baseball turn its back on Black America?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they more so turned their back more so than just giving more of a side eye. We still see it, and we still think, I got a shot. But once we try to delve into that and see if those opportunities are there, you got to be kind of really special. You got to be a special player to just get an opportunity now. Back in the day, if you had speed but didn't have a bat, they'll be like, hey, well, maybe we could teach him how to bunt and steal a base. You don't see no more 200 hitters coming off the bench that's Black. Every guy on the team that's Black is a star. It ain't really a lot of fringe players or bench players on teams now. You're not going to see guys that's just a specialty can come off in the 7th, 8th inning and steal a base and play defense in the outfield. The brothers just don't get those jobs no more. But, what can we do? All we can do is keep trying to be the best that we can be and hope those opportunities present themselves. And then if they do, like I tell all my pitchers all the time, okay, you're drafted now. Now you got to put up. You got to put down some results, because there's not going to be an opportunity for you to get many chances if you screw up. So taking advantage of the opportunities after you get them, that's important as well. But, I still think we kind of looking at each other, not totally from a reverse angle, but from the side, trying to see what one is going to do,
I'm Mark Gray. with the stories of the brothers who did it big, Black in the Day.
MLBBro.com, covering black and brown major leaguers.